when you were able to do that first step, and I wanted to kind of talk about automating an office, the end result is you have way less things cluttering your mind, right? When these automations are running well and hey, as soon as I move this person from here to here, I know they're going to get the email. I know they're going to get this. I know they'll get the DocuSign. I know they'll get this. It is so rewarding and relaxing. And I think you become much more present. But let's go back. So there you were in COVID. You have a clinic that's grown a lot in the last year. You see this 50% drop off. So you have the pressure of less revenue, but you also have this pressure of, we got a lot of stuff piling up, like you said, new patient intake, et cetera, et cetera. When you first made that breakthrough of getting some of that automated, do you remember how you felt, or like what happened then? Because
it was definitely like, especially for my personality, because I'm a little bit of a control freak. So, and I have like high expectations, I guess. So like when I want things done, I want them done well. And so if you're leaving 20,000 different tasks to a staff member, and there's so many different things that have to get done, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my God, like I have to check off that they did all 20,000, right? So that's super stressful for me. You're writing your staff. You don't want that. So to know that, like, well, really the only thing they had to do was put a name in a spreadsheet. Like, well, now I only have one thing to check at the end of the day, right? And now I know, like, the patients are getting the experience and the consistency that, like, I envisioned, right? I guess me is, I don't know where this came from, but in my head, I try and grow my practice through the experience.
Love it.
If that makes sense. Like, yeah. So for me, it's all about, delivering a crazy good experience. And
that's all we have.
Like, over and over. Yeah. Yeah.
Because like, if people are price shopping you,
right,
they're going to price shop until there's a reason not to. And most of the time there's not a reason not to. It's just like, hey, do you take my insurance? Yes or no? And that's a placeholder, but nobody is going to Disney and walk into the ticket counter and being like, well, Matt, Six Flags said they do it for 85. I don't know why you're charging me 215, like that just doesn't happen. And I think in healthcare, the experience is the only thing you can do. It's all it is.
And I think, like, again, I'm listening to podcasts, listening to other people's ideas, and I think it was your podcast. You had one on the Disney experience. And it was around that time, and you talked about the fact that they're all wearing badges, and like it's immaculately clean, like just like what the Disney experience is going to be, and it's going to be better than everyone else's. Right. Or you may have had the story of like the Ritz. I can't remember, but you're just awesome at storytelling, so like it's easy to remember all these little things.
Yeah.
So, and thank God, I mean, those podcasts you probably put out were like years ago, but it kind of stuck with me in terms of like, well, that's what I want to create.
Along with that, so it sounds like you're creating an amazing experience. What % of that experience, because there's stuff you have to do physically in person.
Yeah.
There's stuff that you have to do before they come in, after they come in. What % of that is basically electronic communication? So the text message at the right time, the email at the right time, et cetera.
A good portion of it. Like I mean, I guess I couldn't tell you exactly what, but if you're just talking about purely before the appointment, the only thing we have to do is have a phone call when they come in, right? So other than gathering, and they don't even have to have that. If they schedule online, we're able to do everything automatically from the EHR. We stole your ideas borrowed early on in terms of like, here are the type of text messages that you want to send before they arrive. So it's a picture of the front of the office, here how to find us, here's a map, here's a link to the for the directions to our office. So I remember you kind of did that video a couple of years ago, and it was around that same time that I was building it all, so I made sure that that's what I built. And then when they come in, all we have to do is slide them now in Trust Driven Care, and it sends all of their onboarding text for the next 2 months.
The reason I ask like what % is, there are certain things that every place does for experience. Like if you can get your employee to make eye contact with them and, say, hi, Andy, it's good to see you. That's training people, which is the least reliable, but largest impact things that happen, right?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, digital is great and all, but the biggest impact, you're right, is in person.
Yeah. But the flip side is digital almost can be 100% automated, right? If you just have the right timing or the right trigger, you can say, hey, a day before everybody's first visit, send them this picture or send them this thing. So it's a balance of doing those things. I just see so many practices where they're like relying fully on manual stuff, right? And that way, the problem with that is it works. When it works, it's awesome. But when somebody's a little bit off, or somebody's sick at home, or you're short on stuff, it completely falls apart. Like you got nothing. And it breaks my heart, because then those patients don't have as good of an experience for you.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that would, you're right. I guess the reason why I build all the automations and the campaigns is because that's the kind of stuff that raises my blood pressure.
Yeah, you start smiling for those listening.
Yeah, like it's immediately like, oh my God, like that's the kind of stuff that's my worst nightmare. Is just in terms of like the consistency of the delivery.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Trust Driven Insights, brought to you by Trust Driven Care. Imagine a world where all your patient communication is in one place, seamless, effortless, and on autopilot. That's the power of trust-driven care. If you're ready to streamline your practice, check out trustdrivencare.com and see what's possible. Trust-driven insights, real conversations, smarter care, stronger business.